Okay, here's Joni telling us a little bit about Grandpa. This is for all the grandpas in the audience, and I know there's a lot of you out there. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. And Grandpa, take me back into the past, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so crazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other, come what may? Was the promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Everything is changing fast. We call it progress, but I just don't know. And Grandpa, let's wander back into the past and paint me a picture of long ago. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other, come what may? Was the promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
Child, do you talk in fractions? You're so excited. You're less than 10, but you're talking fractions. I think you know what? I need to put this up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. There you go. Okay.
I'm 4.5. You ask someone how old are you? I'm 4.5, not I'm 36.5.
No,
And then you're going on 5. That's the key. You get in your teens and you jump to the next stage. You could be 12 and you're going on 16. So the greatest day of your life happens and you become 21.
Yippee.
It sounds like a ceremony. You become 21. Yes, but then you turn 30. It sounds like bad milk. He turned. We had to throw him out. That's no fun. What's wrong? What changed? You become 21, you turn 30, and you're pushing 40. Stay over there. It's slipping away.
Yeah.
So you reach 50, you made it to 60, and then you build up so much speed you hit 70. After that, it's day by day. You hit Wednesday. You get into your 80s, and my grandma doesn't even...
Careful!
Oh, I'm sorry. She doesn't even buy green bananas. You know, that's an investment, and it might be a bad one. In your 90s, you start going backwards. I was just 92. And a strange thing happens when you make it over 100. You become a kid again. I'm 100 and a half.
Oh, me! Wasn't that wonderful? How true! That was very true. Okay, you ready? I guess so. Okay, here's Tony telling us a little bit about Grandpa.
This is for all the grandpas in the audience, and I know there's a lot of you out there. Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Sometimes it feels like this world's gone crazy. And Grandpa, take me back into the past, when the line between right and wrong didn't seem so crazy. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other, come what may? Was the promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Grandpa, everything is changing fast. We call it progress, but I just don't know. And Grandpa, let's wander back into the past and paint me a picture of long ago. Did lovers really fall in love to stay and stand beside each other, come what may? Was the promise really something people kept, not just something they would say and then forget? Did families really bow their heads to pray? Did daddies really never go away? Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days. Whoa, whoa, Grandpa, tell me about the good old days.
They went to breakfast, and Ida noticed Lou had a suppository in her left ear. So she told her, and Lou says, I do. So then she thought for a minute and said, thanks, Ida. And she says, why? She goes, now I know where my hearing aid is.
Oh, boy. Lee. Where were you that you heard this? I just want to go back to Grandpa. Wasn't that so true? Oh, I thought it was just the greatest. All the things we used to do many, many years ago, and whereas there's a lot of grandpas here and a lot of grandmas too. So now I want to get a little serious, and I want to say that since Easter is just around the corner, Fran Baxter is going to read us a story and sing "Were You There When They Crucified My Lord?"
Did you ever stop to think about where you came from and just where you are today? It's interesting to remember about how things used to be and how they are today. I'd like to take you back 175 years ago and remember a life of a black lady as she lived in the jungles of Africa. The sun was bright and what a wonderful day it was until we heard the screams of the people that someone was in their village and were taking the young men and women captive. One white man grabbed me and carried me outside of our village and put a chain around my neck and started to drag me away, screaming with a lot of my friends and brothers and sisters. We were dragged through the jungle for a couple of weeks, being treated like we were some kind of wild animals, with no privacy or grace of being human. We finally were brought to a beach where a ship sat out in the sea, and we were forced to go by small boats out to the ship. When we reached the big ship, we were thrown down in the hold and chained hand and foot to the long rows of the ship. We had nowhere to go to the bathroom or nothing to lay down on to sleep. And there was crying and yelling and fighting like you never heard before. We had very little to eat and the water was not fit to drink. And after the ship set sail, started to move, things started to get worse as people got seasick and the stench got worse. We prayed to our God and it gave us some comfort. At night, the women and the girls were left loose and dragged to the cabins of the officers and the ship's seamen and used in manners that were never ever heard of before. About once a week, the captors would drag us up to the deck and throw buckets of seawater over us to try to get the stench off us and try to keep us as healthy as they could. We would pray as things got worse and just to die. After about a month, some of the ones that were so sick did die, and they were just thrown overboard. Finally, after 2 months of this, we did see land, but then as bad as it was, things got even worse as we were dragged off the ship with hardly anything on but stink, and dragged down the street to a place that was set up for auction. We were thrown up on a platform and what little clothes we had were torn off, and we were sold to the highest bidder. After they checked us all over, we were still praying to our gods and still got little comfort from them. And as we came to the great plantations, we did get a decent bath in the river, but the chains were still on. Some of us got to be field hands, and some of the girls got to be maids and cooks in the houses. Thank goodness I was bought by some Christian plantation owners and was introduced to Christianity. We heard the stories of Adam and Eve, of Moses, of Abraham, of Daniel, of David and Goliath, Mary and Joseph, and how Jesus was born in a manger, and how he grew up to be a man, and was crucified and buried and rose up from the grave, and how much he loved us, and that if we trusted him, when we would die, we would go to heaven. We got to be a happy group in those evenings when the work was all done for the day. We would gather around a small fire for our meager meals of whatever the master had allotted us for dinner. And there were prayer of thanks for our survival and our health for today, and always some singing. We made up our own songs, which are known today as Negro spirituals. These songs have survived, and we still sing and love them. And as I sing this one, try to remember this lonely girl taken from her home and brought to this country against her will, introduced to Christianity, and she learned to love the Jesus of the cross, and she worshiped him.